Good morning, champions. Imagine waking up every morning with a fire in your belly, clarity in your mind, and an unshakable belief that today is your day. Sounds amazing, right? But let's be honest, life happens. Some days that fire feels like a flicker. Motivation? Gone. What if I told you that you could reignite it every day no matter what? Today we're diving into the 10 proven ways to stay motivated not once a year, not just on Mondays, but every single day. Why does this matter? Because your dreams can't wait. Your future self is counting on you to show up fully charged, ready to give your best. Stick with me, because by the end of this talk, you'll walk away with the tools to fuel your passion, boost your energy, and create unstoppable momentum. Motivation isn't a fleeting feeling, it's the lifeblood of progress. Think about it, every great achievement, every breakthrough in history started with someone who felt compelled to act. But here's the truth, most people overlook: motivation doesn't magically show up. It's not some mythical creature you chase, it's a discipline, a choice you make daily, and it can be cultivated no matter your circumstances. Picture the days when you've been unstoppable, when you tackled challenges with energy and focus and everything seemed to align. Those moments didn't happen by accident, they were the result of clarity and intention. Now contrast that with the days when you felt stuck, drained, or overwhelmed. What's the difference? It's not your potential or your talent, it's your motivation. That's why understanding its power and how to harness it every day is critical. Daily motivation isn't just about feeling good, it's about creating a state of mind where action becomes inevitable. Why does this matter? Because we live in a world full of distractions and endless demands pulling us in every direction. Without a strong, consistent source of motivation, it's easy to lose sight of your goals, to procrastinate, or to settle for less than what you're capable of. Think of motivation as the engine driving your life forward. When the engine is running smoothly, even the steepest hills feel manageable. But when it's sputtering or running on empty, even the smallest obstacles can feel insurmountable. The secret lies in keeping that engine fueled. Daily motivation isn't reserved for the naturally driven or the eternally optimistic. It's accessible to everyone. It starts with one question: why does this day matter? When you wake up with intention, you set the tone for everything that follows. You're not just reacting to the world, you're leading yourself through it. Motivation becomes a compass, guiding your energy and focus toward what truly matters. But here's where most people go wrong. They wait for motivation to strike as if it's something external. They think, once I feel motivated, I'll act. That's backward. Motivation doesn't come from sitting still, it comes from movement, from taking small, meaningful steps towards your goals. Each step builds momentum, and momentum fuels more motivation. It's a self-perpetuating cycle. The power of daily motivation lies in its ability to transform ordinary moments into extraordinary progress. When you consistently remind yourself of your purpose, when you take control of your environment, and when you commit to even the smallest actions, you tap into a force that can change everything. Imagine what your life would look like if you mastered this. If every morning you woke up not just ready, but excited to face the day. If every challenge was met with resilience, every setback with renewed determination. The possibilities are limitless when you stop waiting for motivation and start creating it. So let's commit to this: no more passive waiting, no more blaming circumstances. Today we take ownership of our motivation. Because when you realize it's something you can generate every single day, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Momentum is the invisible force that transforms effort into achievement. It's the feeling of being in flow, of building up enough energy that action feels natural and progress feels inevitable. But here's the thing: momentum isn't reserved for athletes, CEOs, or high performers. It's a force available to anyone willing to understand and harness it. And the best part, it doesn't take monumental effort to create, it takes consistency. Think about a train starting on its journey. At first it moves slowly, inching forward with great effort. But as it continues, it gains speed, and eventually it's unstoppable, gliding down the tracks with immense power. That's the power of momentum in action. But just like a train, getting started is the hardest part. Most people never build momentum because they underestimate the importance of small, consistent actions. Here's where the science comes into play. Momentum is largely a psychological phenomenon. When you complete a task, no matter how small, your brain releases a hit of dopamine, a feel-good chemical that rewards you for your effort. This makes you want to keep going, to chase that feeling again. The more tasks you complete, the more dopamine is released, and the stronger your drive becomes. This is why starting small is so crucial. Even a tiny victory can create the energy you need to tackle bigger challenges. Momentum also feeds on clarity. If you don't know where you're going, it's impossible to build speed. Imagine trying to ride a bike without a destination in mind. You'd likely wobble, hesitate, and eventually stop. But when you have a clear goal, every action has purpose, and every step forward reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed. Clarity acts like a magnet, pulling you toward progress and amplifying the effects of your effort. Another critical aspect of momentum is rhythm. Consistency beats intensity every time. You don't need to sprint to the finish line, you just need to keep moving. This is where many people falter. They stop and start expending energy without ever sustaining progress. But when you find your rhythm, even the smallest steps add up. It's like compounding interest in a bank account. Over time, the rewards multiply, and what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. Of course, momentum can also work against you. Negative habits, procrastination, and self-doubt can create their own kind of momentum, pulling you further away from your goals. This is why awareness is key. Every action you take either feeds the momentum you want or the momentum you don't. The choice is always yours. So how do you create positive momentum? Start with one small action. Make your bed, send that email, go for a walk, anything that moves you forward. Then build on it. Celebrate the progress, no matter how minor, and let that energy propel you into the next task. The more you act, the easier it becomes to keep going. Momentum isn't magic, it's the result of consistent, purposeful action. Once you understand this, you unlock one of the most powerful tools for achieving your goals. Because when you're in motion, you're unstoppable. And when you're unstoppable, success is just a matter of time. Purpose is the foundation upon which every meaningful action is built. It's the reason you wake up every morning with energy and drive, even when the world around you is chaotic or challenging. Without a sense of purpose, motivation can feel shallow or fleeting, like a passing burst of energy that fades as quickly as it appears. Purpose, on the other hand, is deep, lasting, and can carry you through even the most difficult times. Think of purpose as the compass that guides you through your journey. When you have a clear sense of why you're doing something, it makes the how and what so much easier to figure out. Whether it's your career, personal goals, or even everyday tasks, purpose gives your actions meaning. It transforms routine work into something far more significant. Many people struggle with motivation because they've never taken the time to define their purpose. They're living day to day, responding to the demands of life, without stopping to ask themselves, what do I truly care about? What do I want my legacy to be? Without this clarity, it's easy to feel disconnected from what you're doing, which leads to burnout, frustration, and a sense of aimlessness. When you don't have a clear vision of your purpose, it's much harder to find the drive to push through obstacles. Now, purpose isn't always something monumental or world-changing. It doesn't have to be a grand vision of changing the world or making millions. It can be as simple as wanting to be the best parent, to live with integrity, or to help others in a way that feels meaningful to you. What matters is that you connect with something that speaks to your heart and motivates you on a deeper level. Purpose also has a unique power to sustain you during tough times. When you're faced with challenges, setbacks, or moments of doubt, your purpose acts as a reminder of why it's all worth it. It serves as a constant source of strength, making the hard work feel worth the sacrifice. When you know the why behind your actions, the how becomes secondary. You're more likely to push through, to persevere, and to rise above adversity. The key to harnessing purpose-driven motivation is to continually reconnect with it. Life is full of distractions, and it's easy to lose sight of your deeper reasons for doing things. But if you can anchor yourself in your purpose each day, whether through morning reflections, journaling, or simply asking yourself why you're doing what you're doing, you can stay grounded, focused, and inspired. Purpose also gives your work energy and direction. It helps you prioritize and make decisions that align with your true values. Instead of drifting through your day, you have a clear sense of direction, and every task becomes an opportunity to move closer to what matters most to you. When your actions align with your purpose, even mundane tasks feel meaningful. In the end, motivation without purpose is like a car without fuel. It might start, but it won't get you very far. Purpose is the fuel that keeps you moving forward, and it's the reason you'll keep going even when the road gets tough. When you connect to your deeper why, everything you do becomes infused with meaning, and your drive becomes unshakable. Habits are the silent architects of our lives. They shape who we are, how we spend our time, and ultimately what we achieve. Motivation, while essential, is fleeting. It comes and goes, often influenced by mood, environment, or external circumstances. But habits? Habits are the dependable foundation that keeps us moving forward, regardless of how we feel in the moment. Building a set of positive, productive habits is the key to maintaining motivation over the long haul and ensuring that our goals are consistently pursued. The beauty of habits is that once they're in place, they operate on autopilot. You don't have to rely on willpower or discipline every day to take action. The work has been done for you by the repetitive actions you've ingrained in your daily routine. This means that instead of having to summon motivation to take the first step every time, you simply do what's familiar and automatic, and over time, these actions accumulate into massive progress. Building the right habits, however, is a strategic process. It starts with identifying the actions that align with your goals and finding a way to make them part of your everyday life. This requires intentionality. If you want to be healthier, for example, you don't just wait for the motivation to hit you to go for a run. You plan for it. You schedule it. You make it a non-negotiable part of your day, just like brushing your teeth. The more consistent you are with this new behavior, the stronger the habit becomes until it's a natural part of your life. The key to habit formation is consistency, not perfection. People often expect to see immediate results or expect every action to be flawless, but the real power of habits lies in their steady accumulation. One workout doesn't transform your body, just as reading one book doesn't transform your mind. But over time, these consistent actions compound, leading to profound transformation. This is why focusing on the process is far more important than focusing on the results in the beginning stages. Another critical element of habit building is making your habits as easy and seamless as possible. The more friction you add between you and the habit, the less likely you are to follow through. For instance, if you want to establish a habit of journaling, don't keep your journal out of sight in a drawer. Make it visible, accessible, and easy to reach. The simpler it is to start, the more likely you are to stick with it. The same goes for eliminating bad habits. If you're trying to cut back on screen time or stop eating junk food, make these habits less accessible. Remove temptation from your environment. If your phone is constantly within arm's reach, you'll be more likely to pick it up out of habit, even if you don't intend to. By removing these triggers, you reduce the chance of mindless actions that don't serve your larger goals. The habit blueprint also hinges on tracking and accountability. When you track your progress, whether through a habit tracker, a journal, or simply marking off days on a calendar, you give yourself a visual reminder of your commitment. This can be a powerful motivator in itself. Additionally, having an accountability partner, or even just telling someone about your goals, can make you more likely to follow through because you've made a public commitment. Building habits isn't a one-time event, it's a continuous process of refinement and consistency. Start small, stay consistent, and make your habits easy to follow. Over time, these small actions will build a framework that supports your motivation and leads you toward your greatest achievements. Mindset is the lens through which we see the world. It shapes not only how we interpret our circumstances, but also how we respond to them. A powerful mindset isn't something we're born with, it's something we cultivate over time. It's about consciously deciding how we'll think, how we'll act, and how we'll interpret both successes and setbacks. Mastering your mindset is one of the most powerful tools for sustaining motivation because it determines how we perceive challenges, setbacks, and even the inevitable moments of doubt. At its core, mindset is about control. We don't have control over every external circumstance, but we always have control over how we react to those circumstances. The difference between someone who thrives under pressure and someone who crumbles is often simply mindset. Two people may face the same obstacle, but one may see it as an insurmountable wall, while the other sees it as an opportunity for growth. This shift in perception is what separates the successful from the stagnant. One of the most powerful mindsets you can adopt is a growth mindset. People with a growth mindset believe that their abilities and intelligence can be developed over time through effort, learning, and persistence. This mindset frees you from the fear of failure, because failure isn't a final judgment on your abilities, it's simply a lesson in what didn't work and an opportunity to improve. When you embrace a growth mindset, challenges become exciting rather than threatening. You no longer shy away from tasks that seem difficult, because you know that every setback is just a stepping stone toward mastery. Contrast this with a fixed mindset, which believes that our talents and abilities are fixed traits. Either you're good at something or you're not. A fixed mindset leads to a fear of failure, as people with this perspective often avoid challenges that may expose their weaknesses. They see mistakes as evidence of personal inadequacy rather than as opportunities to learn. This mindset can limit your potential, because you'll avoid the very things that could help you grow. The key to mindset mastery is awareness. Often we don't even realize the thoughts we're entertaining. We become so entrenched in our ways of thinking that they feel like the truth, but the truth is that we have the power to choose how we interpret the world. The first step in mastering your mindset is to catch yourself when you're thinking negatively or limiting your own potential. Once you notice these thoughts, you can consciously challenge them and replace them with more empowering beliefs. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough to do this," you could reframe that thought to, "I may not know how to do this yet, but I can learn and improve with practice." Another key element of mindset mastery is learning to embrace discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone, it happens when we push past our limits and face challenges head on. When you understand that discomfort is a sign of progress, not failure, you start to see every challenge as a chance to stretch and grow. This mindset shift allows you to remain calm and focused when things get tough, because you know that struggle is a natural part of the process. Finally, practicing gratitude can have a profound impact on your mindset. When you regularly focus on what's going right instead of what's going wrong, you rewire your brain to see opportunities instead of obstacles. A mindset of gratitude helps you stay motivated, especially when the road gets rough, because it shifts your attention away from what you lack and towards what you already have. Mastering your mindset is an ongoing process. It's about developing the ability to navigate the ups and downs of life with resilience and optimism. When you take control of your mindset, you unlock the ability to stay motivated, face challenges with courage, and continually evolve into the person you're meant to be. Staying motivated is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process that requires tools, strategies, and techniques to keep your momentum going, especially when life throws challenges your way. The 10 essentials are the strategies that can keep you energized, focused, and ready to act every day. They're practical, actionable approaches that help you stay aligned with your goals, foster positive habits, and maintain the drive to keep pushing forward even when things get tough. The first essential is understanding that motivation is not about waiting for the perfect moment, it's about building an environment that encourages action. This begins with your physical and mental surroundings. If you're constantly surrounded by distractions, negative influences, or a cluttered environment, staying motivated will be much harder. Creating a space that promotes focus, creativity, and inspiration helps to keep your mind on track. A clean workspace, for example, can have a profound effect on your productivity and clarity. Your environment influences your mindset, and the more you optimize it to suit your goals, the more effortlessly motivation will flow. Another essential is having clear, written goals. Goals are the roadmap that guide you toward your destination. Without them, it's easy to drift aimlessly or lose sight of what truly matters. However, it's not just about having goals, it's about making them specific, measurable, and time-bound. When you break your larger goals down into smaller, actionable steps, they become much less intimidating. Each small step you complete brings you closer to the finish line, and each achievement fuels further motivation. The more you track your progress, the more motivated you'll become, because you'll see that your efforts are adding up. Equally important is creating a system of accountability. Having someone who checks in on you, someone you can share your progress with, can be incredibly motivating It could be a mentor, a colleague, or even a friend who's also pursuing their own goals. Accountability creates a sense of responsibility, and when we feel responsible to others, we are more likely to follow through. It's also a chance to celebrate your wins and get support during tough times. When your goals are shared with others, you have an extra layer of motivation to stay committed, not just for your own sake, but because you want to honor that accountability. One of the most overlooked essentials is self-compassion. Motivation is often associated with pushing ourselves to the limit, but it's equally important to be kind to yourself along the way. When you miss a deadline, experience a setback, or face a challenge, your internal dialogue can either lift you up or bring you down. Be mindful of the language you use with yourself. Instead of berating yourself for falling short, treat yourself with compassion and remind yourself that setbacks are part of the process. Self-compassion helps you avoid burnout, reduces stress, and allows you to bounce back faster. When you practice self-compassion, you give yourself permission to keep going, even when you stumble. Another essential is maintaining a sense of purpose. As I mentioned earlier, purpose drives motivation. When your actions are aligned with a deeper sense of meaning, it's much easier to stay focused and committed. It's crucial to connect your goals to your values, your passions, and your long-term vision. This connection makes the journey far more rewarding and keeps you motivated when external rewards or recognition aren't immediately available. Purpose is the fuel that keeps you going when the going gets tough. Finally, the 10th essential is maintaining physical and mental well-being. Motivation is intimately tied to your energy levels. If you're exhausted, stressed, or not taking care of your body and mind, it's much harder to stay motivated. Simple things like getting enough sleep, exercising regularly, eating healthy, and taking time for relaxation can significantly improve your focus, mood, and overall motivation. Your physical energy directly impacts your mental and emotional energy, so making your health a priority will give you the stamina you need to stay on track. The 10 essentials are not one size fits all, but they're a framework that can help you stay focused, energized, and motivated no matter what. When you embrace these strategies, you create a system that continually pushes you towards success, whether the road ahead is smooth or filled with obstacles. By incorporating these practices into your daily routine, you ensure that your motivation is not just a fleeting spark, but a lasting fire that propels you towards your goals.